Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live. My name is Jim Cagnina. I am Senior Market Strategist, leading off for Shai, who is not with us this afternoon, but let's get right into an edge report. Let's take a look at the E-mini S&P. Remember, today is a bank holiday and Veterans Day. So to all our veterans out there, thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day. Let's start with the E-mini S&P right now. This is a 30-minute candle chart. You can see, we're trading at the highs of the day. So it didn't really matter that the banks are closed. They are bidding this thing up. Right now, we're hitting that Jax 2 level, and we've hit that Jax 2 level for 1, 2, 3, 4 candles in a row. That's 2 hours worth of price action right there. 68.75 is that level. The next level up is 0 DTE call resistance and 0 DTE gamma wall, and that's at 68.85. Above that, we have R1 as the target. Above that, we have Jax 1 and a blind spot 4. These are MenthorQ levels. 6,900. And then finally, the one-day max is all the way up here at 69.18, give or take a couple ticks. The volume profile is a little funky today. It's a double distribution kind of in the making. I mean, right now we have a volume node up here based on these last 4 candles with the competing point of control at 68.73, give or take, right where my crosshairs eyes. The official point of control, though, the one that's going to make the record books, is down here at 68.39 right now. So a lot of price separation between the two. We're well above the initial balance right now. We kind of broke out to one side. A double break of this thing based on a candle close is very unlikely at this point. The pivot is framing the bottom of the conversation today. That's where support is at 68.31. Seems to be in the rear view mirror for the rest of the day. So the E-mini S&P and the stock index futures are strong right now. Well, let's take a look at the NASDAQ though. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. I might have spoke too soon. Let's see what it looks like. Come on. Yeah, it's not looking as chipper for sure, but a decent kind of movement. We have this Jax 1 at the top of this is resistance up here, and that's around 25,750. Right now we have a kind of a drive back up to a 25,700 level. That's an old PAX line right there. Point of control, again, this is not a good volume profile. 1, 2, 3 volume nodes, maybe 4 volume nodes right now. So it's not a very mature bell-shaped curve in reality. We are trading above value, though. Price is above value so far. So a little bit of a bullish sign, separation between price and session VWAP. As we speak, official point of control again is right. It's getting close to VWAP. We see that a lot at the end of the day, where that session point of control and the VWAP kind of converge. Should this thing break down, Jax 2 is going to kind of frame the conversation down around 25,500. So a little bit weaker for whatever reason in the NQ. I want to remind everybody this market info tool. I'll go ahead and put a link in for anybody who's using the desktop. It has some really good stats. It rests right on your chart. And in particular, you could set an ATR for this particular market and a percent of range. When this thing's rolling over. And then if you click in the upper left, it brings you a little information box, right? And you can read a little bit about the NASDAQ, the tick size, and what the notional value is, and then the ATR and the ATR risk. Should you hit the whole ATR high to low, either on a positive or a negative note, that's how much that move is worth. So kind of handy tool. I'll go ahead and cut and paste that into the chat a little bit later on. Let's cruise over to the Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if I could find it, it's going to be somewhere on my market analyzer. I'm going to click. All my charts are synced together here, so I click on the market analyzer and I pop open a new one. This is not looking so good. I mean, right now we've kind of hit the bottom, hitting the bottom, digging at the bottom here, and just kind of hitting rock bottom. Point of control right down here at that one-day min. No surprise there at 103,640. The last several bars, this has just kind of been sideways. Not a lot of stuff happened in those last several bars in the Bitcoin market. Not surprised. A lot of the action happened around midnight, right leading into the London initial balance, and then again pre-market here in the U.S. So a little bit of risk off on the Bitcoin right now. The big surprise of the day, though, is the 30-year Treasury bonds. I'm going to pull those up. We talked about this early this morning, 8 o'clock a.m. in the morning. That seemed like a century ago. But I mean, look at this. This is the ADP payroll number, that interim number that they're throwing out there that Tracy was talking about. This big green bar, right? We were flatlined. Banks are closed. No one's trading. No one's, the cash market's not open. And this thing is trading nothing burger, no range, no anything. Boom, that number hit. This market did not, this market loved it actually. So remember, there's an inverse relationship between price and yield. This thing caught a bid and stuck all the way up here at this Jax 1 level, which is 117 and 16/32. That's the point of control. This is a substantial point of control. There's not even a competitor anywhere in sight. Probably done for the day on this particular market, but what will be interesting is when institutional investors do peek their heads in, probably starting tonight and into tomorrow's open. It'll be interesting to see where this market moves. Right now, this was a surprise move in my mind to the upside. We're still at 117 handle though, so we got a long way to go to break out of some longer term areas of consolidation. So that is this afternoon's Edge report. We have a super special treat, trading the close with a first time live trading in the afternoon. We have Pharm with us, who we usually see super early in the morning, and Leo, the big cat, is back. He was here this morning with us. Good to see you guys.
Jim, you didn't call out all the banger trades that I took this morning. That's unfortunate.
All right. Let me start over. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live, everybody. My name is Jim Cagnina, senior market strategist. Leo had a banger trade this morning, everybody. Let's give him a applause.
Just kidding. But that was nice.
That better?
That was nice. How are you guys doing? Good morning. Good afternoon, chat. Good morning. Pharm is here.
Yeah, look, Leo, they called me up last minute. It's kind of a last minute thing. They said, hey, Pharm, Leo gets extremely lonely when he does his afternoon session, and we just need literally any warm body. Do you think you can sit in for a little bit? And I said, okay, I'll keep him company for a little bit. So I'm the warm body, Leo.
I appreciate you coming on and being a warm body.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
But that's not true. Behind the scenes, it was very much like Hall of Fame voting. You got voted in the first vote, Pharm. That's how it went down.
Right. For sure. Well, I'm kind of lucky that my wife happened to be able to keep the kids out of the house for a little bit. So they're off today. So otherwise it would be a little bit loud back here.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Well, afternoon's
Your
a lot of
kids have
fun.
off days?
It's a kind of holiday, man. Come on.
I got you.
Oh man. So what are you guys thinking about this afternoon? Let's start with you, Leo. What do you think? What's the tape looking like?
We are just at the top of the range here in both NQ and ES.
And you could share your screen too.
Oh, I can share. Okay. Hang on just a second. Let me take care of that. Okay, so we're at the top of the range. And NQ after, a bit of a look into that LVN. I think we actually shorted into those lows and covered at those lows. And, from this LVN just kind of held a support, didn't really find anything lower than that. And so, we found ourselves kind of walk up all the way back through the open and right to the V range high. That's a OFL tool. And, kind of reject from those 25,700s essentially. And we're just kind of hanging out. I don't have a high confidence trade here to take, but if we get one, I know that Pharm is going to take it. I'm just going to call the trade.
Right. So Leo actually asked me before we came on, he said, look, Pharm, whatever you do, please don't show the calves because my wife watches these and she's never going to look at me the same way afterwards. Yours are just the right size, buddy, I'm sure.
Oh my God. All right then. It's better to have this in the afternoon than first thing in the morning, Leo, believe me.
Yes, I agree.
So Pharm, what are you thinking about price action this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, okay, look, so yesterday we came, we looking at my charts? Okay, so let's go to ES real quick. And I got to keep in mind, is it split? It's not split, so you can see. And I have not updated all my charts, but yesterday, where's yesterday here? So we basically had come in overnight to sort of this LVN here, just below the meat of this upper distribution from last week. So call it an upper edge of this sort of primary distribution. NQ had come up to last week's volume point of control on a spike, which is generally ill-advised, I would say. So I was looking for weakness into this morning. We got that. And I wanted to see basically a value traverse on either NQ or ES. That basically NQ's perspective. You're talking depending on your chart and how you have your value areas formatted, but you can see top of value here runs down effectively to value area low from yesterday. ES didn't even come close. And naturally I had picked ES to short overnight, right? So that's why ES didn't come close. So we got it on NQ, so that's fine. So to me, it's a good opportunity to cover shorts regardless of whether you are short ES or NQ. Get the responsive buyers came in at an area that really protected yesterday's low, right? I mean, you can see the aggressive bid that came out of there yesterday. So generally not looking to be too short into that spot for sure. But yeah, ES was kind of a pain in the ass. Like YM has been crazy strong. I don't know what the hell that thing's doing today. But like RSP was fine. RTY is a piece of shit. So, I mean, of course, it was weak all day in the morning. But yeah, like you've got one of these days where now NQ is markedly weaker than ES driven by YM. And it's like, is that going to last all day? Is that going to last tomorrow? I feel like we need the Qs to bid to really find this to be a durable pump. Otherwise, it's just going to end up being a farm pump. So, which is very brief in duration. So that's where it's there. I agree. Like on a day like today, bank holiday, if you get a trade in the morning, like just be done. And especially with this conflict here, like how do you want to short ES sitting up there at the highs? Like you don't want to long at either. And then, NQ is weaker, but also up at range highs, but like you kind of don't want to short NQ with ES being on the moon right now. So that's kind of where I'm at today. I feel like most of the move is done for today with that NQ value area traverse. And that was a trade I was looking for. And that was the trade we got.
There you have it. All right, guys. Chat, thank you for being here. Everybody listening, whether you're in the chat or not, thank you for listening to NinjaTrader Live. Appreciate the thumbs up. We appreciate the subscriptions. It's easy to do. It's free. There's a little button there. You just click on it. We greatly appreciate that. But thanks for being super cool in the chat, being part of our community, best trading community I've been involved in. I've been involved in a lot of them for a lot of years. So you guys are in the right place at the right time, and you're in good hands with Pharm and Leo. Gentlemen, I'm going to dip in the chat. I wish you the best of luck on any trades that you may stumble across.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Take it easy.
You're going to leave me all alone with Pharm now.
It's trouble. Hey, Bobby in chat just made a good point. He said it might be a good opportunity to look for a long at the G period singles on ES. I would assume he's referring to at the G spot. So G period singles. What do we got? ES, call it.
It's always sexual innuendos with you, Pharm.
Not always. Yeah. Okay. Always. Like what, 58, 64 range on ES. So you could look for a responsive bid on NQ if you prefer to trade NQ. I like to trade whatever I feel like trading, but I do look at both. Do you look at you just kind of look at both for big picture decision making, right, Leo? Or do you
like if I'm about to take a trade in NQ, I may glance over at the ES profile and DOM just to see where it's at in relation to NQ. That's about it.
Got it. Yeah, sometimes I will straight up take a trade off NQ just based on ES because I'm weird like that. Not usually. Not
take a trade
on NQ.
On NQ based on
yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. The problem with that is when there's that divergence, like you talked about
today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, there's a huge problem with that. It just fucking happened today. So,
And today's low on ES is an absolute piece of shit, which is why it's probably the generational low, because this is a trash market and it loves these trash lows.
Oh yeah, I love those poor lows.
If we could get it tomorrow though, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for my NT to update. I have this profile on my higher time frame chart that it takes quite a while to load because it's 4 weeks of tick data. And I just made the mistake of changing that to a 30-minute chart instead of a 60-minute, and it's having a nervous breakdown right now
Excellent. Excellent. See you in a few hours then.
in the middle of the day. There we go. It's back. Okay. Yeah, so nothing, there's a little bit of an LVN here on that rolling profile. I mean, it makes sense that we kind of paused at 700. It was also a level from last week. Was that the prior, not last week, but the week before that was a
It
swing
was the
low. It was
it
a
was the
swing
overnight
low.
low. It
Yep.
was the overnight low, the 26 on the monster gap.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So it makes sense to kind of sell out there. There's a bunch of offers that are or were just kind of chilling at 676 and just kind of in this range. You can see a lot of passive activity here, kind of what appears to have happened, just from my vantage point here is that, from this rally, from this mid to here, there was a lot of passive offer activity. And, when we first came on the show, there was tons of offers, just sitting up in these 670s. Just some of them got filled and some of them didn't. But, it's just like, do you really want to slowly like sell into a slow market? That's near high of days. And at the end of the day, I guess like I would just prefer to find a decent spot to get long, you know, for an end of day trade. But
I
I'm not
like,
sure it's going to pull back hard enough for me to get interested in that.
yeah, I mean, I would agree actually with Bobby said, looking at those singles on ES. And it looks like, yeah, I mean, if we just like go straight sideways, which we could for like an hour and put in like 2 more periods, just chilling in this range. One of the late day trades that I like to take, let's go to the 30 ES. Disgusting pig chart, which I have not fully updated. All right, so we've got multiple periods of chop with higher lows and then relative equal highs. I would like, again, I'm not calling for it, but what I like to see on this is rug these buyers, okay, all these lower wicks come in here, dip into these singles, and then reclaim the lows of like, let's say 64. So let's just say like 64, basically like yesterday's high, right? It was like 64, 65. So you could come in here, make an attempt to fill the singles from sellers late into the day. They can't get it done, reverses back above 64, 65, and then take it into potentially a spike up really into the close. That's something that I would just kind of keep on my radar for later. When I see this shit, these lows just look like they're begging to be run to me, and it's forming a potential multi-period balance. And then very often late in the day, I will see an attempt from sellers to fill singles, which, we know since sellers suck, fails at least 69% of the time, and then just runs up to new high a day. So like something like that, maybe would interest me. But other than that, this looks gross.
Yeah, I agree. So now that we've kind of framed potential trades, what the hell are we going to do until something shows up?
Tell some jokes, buddy.
You got jokes, dad jokes, like proper dad jokes?
I don't know. I
We
feel
need
like I'm off my game
Job
today.
Job is dad joke. He is the dad joke king.
Let's look at some questions here. That's what we'll do. We'll take questions.
AMA.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, the drift of death. That's exactly right. Got one for you in there, Leo.
Okay, so the volume profile on the far right of my chart. Okay, so you can do the same thing with the NinjaTrader. This version is one that we built because that has quite a bit of customization. I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember how to get it in the far right margin. So Frank, I'm sorry, but I don't know how to answer your question.
So
Maybe,
busted.
maybe there's somebody in the chat that can throw up a guide to the NinjaTrader volume profile. Crash course or guide.
Question for me about levels. So I do weekly levels, and honestly, more than anything, I mean, sometimes they work as, and hold to the tick, but generally for me, they're more like guideposts, right? Like if you have a major LVN in a weekly profile, you kind of want to know where that's at. So like to me, that's likely to be a weekly level. They're not all volume profile levels. Some of my levels might be supply and demand price, or some other reason I have for a level. And then each day, to me, frames how I want to interact around those spots. So coming into a week, you have no daily profiles, right, other than Fridays. And so I'm working off of the prior week's profile, and I'm working off of Friday's profile to take trades on Monday. And then coming into Tuesday, I've got Monday's profile to work off of, along with the prior week's profile. And I would say that takes most of, the structuring of my trades are going to be based around that. Now, after Tuesday, like you start to get some information or decent information about the week's developing profile. And so like Tuesday, Wednesday, now I start looking at how, the week's developing profile interacts with the prior week's, interacts with each day's. And so I can have levels on my chart, if it's a weekly level that I don't even care about in a given day, right? And so that's where like my daily plans are looking at, where are the best places when I look at the prior day's profile, when I look at the prior week or the developing week profile, where to me are the best places potentially to interact, and what am I looking for? What do I want to see happen? And so it's not so much about like, oh, hey, it's above this level, I'm long, it's below this level, I'm short. It might be, but generally, I'm just using that as sort of guideposts on the weekly levels, and then looking to see how the daily profiles interact with that, how I want to interact.
Sounds just about like my process, honestly. You and I are not, you're not cut from too far of a different cloth.
A lot of us profile traders at least have some similarities anyways, right? Maybe different types of trades that we like to take, maybe similar. You use different intraday tools than I do.
My calves might be smaller, apparently.
I don't know. Your intraday calves are probably pretty good. You're probably a lot better scalper than I am. I would have to guess that. That's not really my style. I like to see something. Like I want to see like, okay, here's what it's gonna do, right? Like that, like I just mentioned, that 30-minute chart on ES, which I'll pull back up just so Leo can have another seizure looking at my chart and the colors. Like, I mean, I just see that setting up, and I'm like, okay, I might be, and I don't even like it that much, to be honest. Like, that's not even like really my style trade necessarily. Up here towards range high, taking a potential, attempt for sellers to fill the singles and then taking it into spike up. It's not like my jam, but like I want to see something ahead of time. And so to me, I'm very, very rarely taking like some kind of reactive trade, like, oh wow, look at that seller there. Unless it's a spot that I'm looking at to begin with, right? Like, so today on NQ, for example, I'm not even on NQ anymore. I was looking for 469 to 485 to potentially bid again. I mentioned that a little bit earlier, right? You saw how price was lifted from that area, basically just leaves behind, some demand from my perspective. And so I was looking for, maybe sellers to get out of line and put some volume into that spot that gets brick walled. So then when I see that, that would be the order flow information that I am looking for at that area, at a spot where I'm interested to take a trade anyway. So for me, it's like area of interest, what's the setup, and then why am I pressing this button? And if all three of those aren't there,
so from an execution standpoint, were you watching the time and sales? Like, do you watch any of the, I guess, order flow activity?
any order for traders out there are going to have a conniption fit here.
No, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's what I'm looking at. Okay, so I'll give you an example. All right, so I effectively see what I need to see in order flow, looking at candles and looking at volume. And so imagine you have a candle. Like what makes price move, right? If there's 10,000 lots on the offer, it doesn't necessarily make price go down on the downtick, right? I mean, somebody needs the market sell, right? And so if I'm looking at a candle, like say you have a candle, it's a 1 minute candle and its range is exactly 2 ticks. There's an uptick and there's a downtick. And you're coming into a swing low in an area of interest. And let's say relative volume, let's say NQ has been like, I don't know, 400 contracts or whatever per minute. And then I see, and this wasn't a good example, but let's say that price sits on the downtick for that entire minute of that entire candle, and the volume is screaming through the roof. Well, what must be happening in order for the price to remain on the downtick and volume to be screaming? Well, some asshole must be market selling to somebody with some enormous caps. And so I'm looking for specific things like that. So I'll see absorption in that way. I want to see a lot of volume being put in and price not going lower, right? So it's the same thing that you would be looking at with time and sales, but I'm looking to see effort that does not meet result at a key area where I'm looking to engage anyway. And I happen over time, I had to train myself to be able to just see that with time-based candles and volume.
I'm not judging you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what you just said.
Oh, I know. But yeah, I know the order flow ones again crowd would flip their shit, but that's basically, I mean, you can see the volume peak into this low, and you already saw, you obviously saw responsive buying there to begin with. We were coming into the prior day's value area low. We were coming into that area that I pointed out where buyers had lifted it. They'd been very responsive the day before. So this is exactly what I'm looking for to get long, is to see an effort made from a seller, get a little bit off sides, and just sort of jam it into the glory hole and find a piranha on the other side, and then see the responsive buying turn on after that. So that's exactly what I'm looking for.
So many words, Pharm.
Somebody stop me.
I'm so scared. Leah, would the profile with the negative and positive numbers red and blue be equivalent to market depth, or it's delta? So this is delta. So basically, like, if you looked at this profile, right, and you subtracted the ask volume minus the bid volume, the delta of that information is what's shown here.
So Leo, in my example of price sitting on the downtick and volume shooting through the roof for an entire minute, what would your chart look like then?
So we actually saw this activity down at 490s this morning. What you would see is, like, we're trading into a low, just pretend, and this delta profile would just shoot over to the left with just a bunch of blue delta. So, like, and if you were watching the time and sales, you would see the tape just light up, from buyers. The counter to that would be like a consolidation area like this. This was actually interesting because we were watching this morning, right before we got off stream after we took this short, was this little consolidation. There was just tons of just offer delta right here. But what I told the chat is, like, this is not really an A+ trade, because while there's absorption, buyers are lifting, and price is going sideways, typically you would look for a continuation lower. And while that did happen for a split second, the opposite actually happened, as the market just took off from there. So, but you can see clearly that this was kind of the decision point for the rest of the day. We left that area and said, peace out. And that for me is, there's so much context in there, knowing, what the dominant or the passive side of the book was doing. And when we left, it just, we just took off.
Very nice.
It's fine, Pharm. I can deal with the fact that when you say order flow, you don't actually mean order flow. You can just, it's fine.
It's the same idea. You want to see, you want to see what you want to see.
Just making content.
Gotta have a. Oh, I know. You gotta have a reason to press that button.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll all agree on that.
Yeah.
Right. So people are all about, like, my level.
This way's better. My level's this. Da da da.
And then, like, what do you do with your levels? And it's like, well, there comes a point where you have to learn for yourself when to press the button. And I feel like that's pretty personal to everybody, right? Everybody has their different method, what they look at, like what they want to see. And that's fine, right? Like you don't need to
Well,
do anything the Leo way or the Pharm way.
yeah, and it's not just like pressing. It's not just like knowing when to press the button, but when it's worth pressing the button is also part of it too.
Yeah.
Like for me right now, it's not worth pressing anything except for the button that like makes new coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. I always ask myself, or try to ask myself before taking a trade, like, how does this compare to my last banger trade? Right. Like, so Leo, you hit 100 handles on the short side down there today. So like, how does anything right now compare to that? And I think you would say, well, it's shit. And so that's kind of what goes through my head when I'm like, because we're all addicts, I'm sure, on some level, right? Like we get that compulsive need to press the button. And so I try to pause and say, okay, well, look, asshole, like, is this any good, right? And how does this compare to the last banger? And if it's just isn't as good or isn't close to as good, then I just, try not to press the button. Call my sponsor and say, help me, man. I'm gonna press this button and it's a shitty trade.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, seriously, just some trade. Let's just hop on over and just like screw around. Try not to go too crazy with my language here, but yeah, I mean, when it gets like this,
Well,
not for me.
Pharm, the afternoon is a little bit like, the morning is professional. It's G rated. Fridays are R rated because it's PAX Friday. The afternoons are kind of an in between, so you can drop, you can
Okay.
drop a little spicy word here and there, and I don't mean, you know what I mean. I don't mean that
I
kind
know,
of
I know what you
spice.
mean. Speaking of PAX, so I'm gonna tell you a funny story. You weren't in Florida, so I don't think I told you this, but this was hilarious. You remember that first day that PAX did on Friday? I don't know if you
Yes.
watched that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
watched
His
that?
first
Okay, so
Friday show. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
How could
his
you forget?
energy,
How could you forget?
so his energy is like pretty high, right?
Yeah.
I accidentally, I was watching that back because I missed it that day. I accidentally had 1.2x on while I was watching that, and I didn't realize it. And I was like, "Holy shit! No wonder this guy almost died. Like he is hyped up, ready to go." And like I was like, my heart's all pumping. I'm like, "What the hell?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's 1.2x." It wasn't a whole lot slower at 1x. That was definitely not my type of trading. I definitely like to take my time and see things developing, see things setting up, and then I also like to hold trades for a while if I can. I love round tripping runners. That's my jam.
Hey, somebody said can't find the OFL free tools, the premium tools. Steve, I'm gonna have the NinjaTrader team send you a link in the chat. It will take you directly to the free tools. So it's literally you can just install the stuff right from there. Saw you were having a hard time. Thought it'd be easier just to give you the link. Super easy. Still waiting on NT merch. Is NT gonna get into the merch game?
My brother in Christ, will you just look at my shirt, man? Come on. What you doing?
It's
Got this
black.
hoodie. It's NT. It's NT hoodie. NinjaTrader hat. I guess you probably can't tell because it's black.
Also, Pharm, just as an FYI, we have only 113 likes here in this on this stream. That is probably far, far, way too low. Jim might not even let us get off the show at the end.
I'm never going to be invited back. That's for sure.
So if you can
Understandable.
throw up a like, hit the subscribe button. It helps the network get more people watching the stream, getting involved, et cetera, et cetera. Pharm won't tell you that he sends he DMs me to get screenshots of your Delta.
That's actually true. Once, yeah, that was true. It might have been last night. That might have been last night. I was like, because I wanted to see what a spot look, if what I saw kind of matched up with what your tools saw, and if I remember correctly, it aligned very, very nicely. Very nicely.
You can use them if you'd like, Pharm.
We talked about this.
You know,
we did.
I'll let you.
Let's get it done. Let's get it done.
If you're just secretly asking all your friends to give you screenshots,
All the time.
you can also ask me. You know, you can DM me. It's fine.
Well, look, I asked.
So you're legit, like your closet order flow curious, like legit order flow curious.
Oh, I'm definitely curious. I'm definitely curious. But look, I was embarrassed. I asked Johnny to ask Drew to ask Leo about the order flow tool. I was just very, very shy and didn't want to come directly to you. No, I really just wanted to see it that one day. But I'm going to pop it on. I'm definitely going to pop those tools on my NinjaChart in the near future. We talked about this.
Yeah, we're making some optimizations for speed that are incredible. Once we get those done, I will absolutely be happy to share them with you.
Because again, I think what a lot of people struggle with is that reason to press the button, right? I mean, everybody's levels are the best, and everybody is an amazing trader, but it really is knowing when to press the button, not when to press the button, that I think helps, and a lot of your tools are great for that.
Do you want to see more of Pharm and Leo together?
I'm saying no.
Oh.
Where's no? Why is there not a C? No, I don't want to see this fat guy on the stream again. Hit the like button if Pharm looks fat and black. Everybody,
brother,
get those likes up.
What's that, brother?
That's what happens when the backstage production is like, you're gonna get that sticker, right? Hey, are you ready for a call? You got a sec for a chat?
This is brutal, Leo. I mean, what do you expect? Come on, it's Veterans Day. It's the afternoon. All the fun happened overnight this morning.
You know what? I forgot to mention that. If you're a veteran, you're out there watching the stream, thank you for your service to the country. My grandfather was a veteran, was in World War II. I had a couple of uncles in the military, and I just want to say thank you to the veterans out there. So I appreciate that. I appreciate your service to our country.
I would like to reiterate that, except most of my family were draft dodging chicken shits. So thank you to those who were not. In all seriousness, I was, being 4'6", I was never really cut out for the military, but I almost went to the Naval Academy, but it would definitely not have been for flying planes because I can't reach the pedals, man. What can I tell you?
Hassan, I don't speak Spanish, my friend, so I can't read what you wrote. So glad you tuned into the stream to watch this tape die.
Yeah.
Hey.
Pace is just absolutely anemic.
Yeah, look at the volume on your chart go from decent to... They're going to clip that. I know it.
What?
They're going to clip that, man.
XY will be back tomorrow. Pretty sure. So tomorrow, here's the thing. I'll be back on with Kane in the morning. I'm not, I think Nick's doing Wednesday. Nick's doing midday tomorrow. So it'll be me, Kane, and then Nick, and then I can't remember who's doing tomorrow afternoon. And then I think XYZ will be on Thursday. So XY will be back from Japan tomorrow.
Take a ball. Just quick rug and then go. I still am not even interested. Let's let somebody jam some volume up here into 7980. Get that volume counter up to 6,000 in a minute, which will never happen today. And then punish. And then punish him, run these stops, and then run it back up. Nothing fun like that's going to happen. There's a rule: if I'm watching, nothing fun's going to happen. I kid you not, every day I'm like, hey guys, good news. I'm leaving for the afternoon. This was right here. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was like right here, like something fun's going to happen. Get ready for it. So we'll see if they do this.
I'm pretty much with the nothing ever happens crowd. Which means, you know, any sell-off is usually just bought up. That's not like a lazy statement for me. I think it's just the fact that, you know, the majority of the time charts are going up and to the right. I love a great sell though, you know. I love an exciting sell-off where you can just short it into the, you know, you get all your anger out and you just ride that missile down until they squeeze it right back in your face.
Yeah.
If you've never been squeezed out of a market, are you really a trader?
That's right. That's right. You got to know when to cover a few at least, right? When you're short, learn that real fast.
We got a generational 4% pullback finally in 6 months. That's right.
Yeah, we did.
You got any opinions on where we are from a higher time frame? We're kind of in the middle of the leg down, right? So this is kind of the half back, you know, the middle from the high to the low, from the recent swing low on the daily. You have any?
Yeah, I mean,
any thoughts?
obviously, ES has retraced far more than NQ has here, right? It's
Okay, I haven't
most
even
of the
looked
way
at
back
ES,
up to the
so,
highs.
yeah.
Let's pull up the 30s real quick. I'm looking at the other charts, but if you just look at the last couple of weeks here, and again, apologize, I haven't updated these charts, but I mean, ES doesn't, to me, doesn't have a whole lot in front of it, right? I mean, finding acceptance, I mean, I think it's a little too early for this just yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're coming back up and like what's left to me. Whereas NQ, not what's the hell? Pharm, God, stop being such a boomer. NQ's got a little bit further to go. I'd want to see back up these 969, let's say. But I mean, really still, you get in the meat of this distribution and it's kind of game over. So ES has come a little bit closer. And then I would say, I mean, like big picture. I mean, if this doesn't, I don't know, I'm just not sure that's game over yet. I mean, it sure looks like it on ES, but not really convinced. You know, we have a shit high on both, right? Are they both ETH? I forget. I think they're both ETH highs.
NQ, no. Well, my
NQ,
daily chart only has
NQ is ETH.
my daily chart only has. I don't know the answer. It is. You said it is ETH.
Yeah, it is 399. What that was? What the hell day was that?
26,400 was the high.
11:30 p.m. on the 29th. Looks like. So I mean, the highs are shit. And then ES was like it had taken the RTH high by like, I don't know, a tick or something like that, and then went to hell. But I mean, like big picture on ES, I know I've got something in like the 7260s or some shit, which like I hope we don't get, because I'm looking to buy at zero, because I feel like that's fair value and I can buy a lot at zero. I haven't done the math to figure out exactly how much I can buy at zero, but I know that it's a lot. So I would like to see that. But, you know, it looks like, you know, any hopes of selling into the end of the year maybe are dashed. But like today's a holiday, obviously. Some of the data this morning was like that ADP pre-release or whatever the hell it was, not super bullish. So you never know.
Look at that. You look at that stuff.
I do once in a while.
You're gonna have to train me.
I'm mostly looking to see like how price responds, but I'm also looking at other markets too. Like, for example, if you looked at 6J, so the yen, you know what that one is. I think you've mentioned that one before. Maybe
6E.
Maybe you mentioned 6. No,
6E?
yeah, it was 6E that you knew. So no, 6J is just the yen, right? If you looked last week during the sell, and you pulled up a chart, you just pull the VIX against 6J, it was the same chart. On short time frames, on like the 5 minute, it was the same chart. So like, to me, that's what the market was responding to at that time. Why? I don't know. You know, I'm a macro moron, but like it was, so I pay attention to it. So
Do you know who the
when,
best macro trader of all time is?
go for
Nick for a tick.
it. Nice. Very nice. So yeah, I mean, I look at it, but I'm more looking to see how the market responds. I said on Sunday night, not this last one, because I wasn't on, I was up north with the fam, but the one before, I feel like December and QT ending is a gift for bears. And just, I'm going to say this like every day, every opportunity I get the chance. And I don't mean that to suggest that it means that bears get to short it when QT ends. What I mean is that the market at this point, with the government reopening, and there, in theory, should be a liquidity impulse with that, QT ending, the market has no excuse not to rally into the end of the year. It's an up year, like all that same shit, Santa Claus, all the good stuff has no excuse. And so to me, it's a gift for sellers. If we just go moonshot, it's a gift because you just like go back to sleep, for a month and you don't try to fight it.
You're giving me
But
an anxiety attack talking about this market trading, like grinding into all-time highs for the rest of the year.
yeah, that would sound disgusting, wouldn't it? But
Mhm.
if it does not really take off to me, like now into the end of the year, then I think this is going to be a big sell in January, and that would be good fun. So it's a
Yeah.
gift either way. You either just stay the hell away and you don't blow up your account, or you look forward to getting to short this piggy.
You just buy it, all the dips, not financial advice. Buy all the dips till the end of the year and then short the piss out of it for the
Maybe.
2026.
Well, if you remember last year, everybody and their mom was calling for this huge rally in December. And that is not what happened. That is not what happened at all. It was weak going into OPEX. And then I'll never forget that day on OPEX. That was the big nuke. And like that, to me, the top was in. I mean, we made higher highs on ES slightly. We made higher highs on SPX and QQQ. NQ did not make a higher high on a non-back adjusted chart, if I remember correctly, even into February 18th. And so that's the kind of thing that I would be looking for, is if December is weak, it probably does not bode well. I mean, there definitely has been distribution to me by my eyes in that 6-week range.
Yeah.
But I always felt, I mean, there always is, right? Like it's a 6-week range, right? Like people are taking profit and other people are taking the buy side, right? And so as long as within any range, it's always the same. So as long as there's enough buyers to soak the selling and then ultimately lift the highs for a breakout, then fine, we go higher. But there definitely was. And my suspicion was that this, no two tops going to look the same. And I'm not necessarily calling for a top, but no two tops, if it was going to look the same. And so it was very unlikely. So last year looked exactly like 2022. Do you remember that one, Leo? How it was like November,
Yep.
December, January, whatever it was. It was the same exact topping process. RTY was first, and then ES and NQ went kind of next, right? And then it was the same like 3-month process of distribution with nominal higher highs or no higher highs. And this one, it kind of made sense. I was looking for like a divergent week higher high. Like we kind of got that, but now we have this shit, ETH high, which again, like this market is such steaming trash the last year or so. Like maybe it's the top for that reason. It's just so bad that you and I are like, I don't want to short this. The high's no good. And then we just rug 10% or something. I was kind of waiting for that to happen, to be honest, but
Yeah.
here we are. So we'll see. It's all going to be about December. Like Bitcoin looks like shit. Like, I mean, it seems like just 3 weeks ago, all the macro accounts were talking about how, liquidity is just endless and we're going to the moon and blow off tops coming. And this has been the shittiest blow off top I have ever seen. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. I'm a macro, ignorant. So I just come in and trade the levels. I know that sounds kind of silly. Even though I have this economic calendar, it's only to know about when things are happening, not what the results are or anything like that.
question was,
when is the book
my-
going to get thin, and when do I need to be aware of, specific market activity? Man, if I had to reach out for a trade right now, it'd be shorting 670s, but I just don't have the maybe I don't even have the will to put this trade on right now.
let's see, question
like
about
that.
41 to 55. I think 41 to 45 on my chart.
Anytime I hear someone talk like this, their trading has just been shit.
Talk like what?
I don't know. I am for me, macroeconomic, it's almost like I can be easily influenced by two things, and it's macroeconomic conditions from my perspective have been super weak for over 2 years, but the market keeps going up. And I mean, this is just anecdotal, friends, job market stuff. I think it's the underlying economy is not necessarily as strong as it apparently is. If I traded that opinion, I would be broke. The other thing that can influence me is my friends. And so sometimes your friends are right, sometimes your friends are wrong. And I've had to more or less like put my own thoughts and trading into a box and just kind of ignore kind of what everyone else says, because I could easily hear or see somebody's tweet and be like, oh yeah, that's a great point. Let's get fucking short, blah, blah, blah. And just totally miss and miff up my whole day because of those things. So that's kind of why as an intraday trader, I just kind of ignore all that stuff and only care about when those events, when the economic releases come out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the question, my comment about trash market, I don't mean the markets have been bad to trade.
Yeah.
I just mean if you're kind of a market profile purist and you're looking for an excess high and an excess low all the time, and like you're not getting that anymore. So it's just a little bit different. And I think a lot of that has to do with 0-day options. You get a lot more poor lows as maybe you have some kind of gamma banana vanna spot sitting into a low, and you get a lot of selling into that. Dealers are taking the other side of that, and it just doesn't go. Sellers gas out. You get a nice rally. So you really actually just have to be more open-minded than being a purist. And to me, we joke about it being trash, but I also joke about people that are a little bit too stuck in their ways and looking for that perfect high or that perfect low. So it's a little bit of a joke. The market has been fantastic to trade. But if you're always looking for that perfect high or perfect low, you're probably going to get, left ending and end up with nothing but your D in your hands. And hopefully your hands are very full at that point, but not for all of us. 2023 summer, 2024 summer, ETH highs, if I am not mistaken, on ES, and we sold off 10% or more both times. So anybody that is a purist is probably going to get spun around a little bit.
Yeah. I don't really care when the highs are made.
I definitely feel more comfortable with it for sure. Like, because sometimes you just see one of those highs and you're like, oh shit, that's the high, or that's the low intraday. I mean, it always feels better, when you see something like that going your direction for sure. But ultimately, does it like necessarily matter? No, because you can end an auction one of two ways, a directional auction anyways, one of two ways. I mean, you could end the auction from, your auction market theory purist terminology. You get an excess high and, buyers walk away, sellers step in, they send it the other way, you get a reversal of direction, but also just new market generated information. So like if you happen to have a poor high in place and then like nukes fly or something, or, you know, whatever, there's some financial crisis, then, you know, this is probably going to be the high. So
Yeah.
being a purist, it really, ES really just didn't even take that preceding 30-minute low, did it? Just came right down and said, nah, I'm just gonna hold in here.
Give me the yawns.
What a snooze.
The delta column is historical bid and ask difference, similar to volume. Yes, that's correct. That is the calculation. How do you read the rebids and reoffers if they are not in the delta data? So one, the way this is calculated is from each leg. So this one specifically is from this leg, right? So here we have an impulse move up. Delta, we have the profile that's set from here and tracking it here. So all new information is being displayed plus the information from here. So it's a combination of historical and new information. And what are we seeing? We're seeing, you know, tons of offer activity in this range. So you can just literally box this range out. Again, what's happening? We're going sideways. We have tons of offer delta from against this high, right? So for me, there's two ways I look at rebid or reoffer. One is a simple, you know, yank, pull, like an impulse move. Where's the retracement of that move? Like, and when I say retracement, I don't mean a Fibonacci number or anything. I just mean like a pullback, right? What's a pullback? Well, for me, it's at least 50% and sometimes like 65, 70%. So somewhere in the 50 to 75% of this leg down, of this little impulse move down, I'd be looking for reoffers. So that's mechanically where I look. And then in the order flow right here on the leg to leg profile, you have it. And then the last place I would be looking is on the actual order book in the DOM. So you have the, you know, price action kind of mechanical look at it. You have the delta leg to leg. And then for the final, you know, real time information, this is real time, but it combines historical and real time because transactions are always happening. And then the last piece is that DOM. So pretty much the DOM activity. You know, we talked about it as we were starting, is that there was just offers sitting at 70s, you know, in these 70s to 80s. Hopefully that answers your question there.
Good stuff, Leo.
I just, you know, this is what happens when you stare at screens for years and years and years. DOM activity. There's a running joke in the order flow trading community about we're just trading on vibes. And to be honest with you, there's an element of truth to that, with the fact that anything that you're using from a DOM, time and sales, or other perspective is going to have a rhythm to it, right? It's going to have a certain pace. You know, just like if you're watching the stream, we've seen that we're basically just going up and down in a 20-point range, right? So that's a market state. So the state of the market right now is basically it's not doing anything. The same is also true for the DOM and the time and sales. There are states, and their states can be it's doing nothing, it's making a move, and that is also true with the order flow activity, right? The state could be neutral, it could be bearish, it could be bullish. And the order flow activity being bullish or bearish, that is more about pattern recognition than it is a specific sequence or a specific, you know, 500 lots filled, 600 lots filled, etc. It's what is the activity when that happens? What are the other participants doing when that 1,000 lot order gets filled? When that 500 lot order gets filled? Do they replace them with more, or is it just one order? Is the tape, you know, the pace of the tape, is it gone from really slow like it is now to extremely fast? Okay, that's a change in state. The state of the market has changed. All of that cannot be I can't draw a line on the chart that says something happened here in the order flow. I can just tell you, you have to observe, be an observant of what's happening in the order flow, and then know when something's changed. But also by observing it, you kind of understand that rhythm and flow. You need price to go up. Do you want me to get short? It's usually a pretty good method to get the market to go up. New candle alert. We have a new candle.
I've got ES up just to look at those 30s. We can look at NQ though. It's a similar concept. It's just the weaker market here and doesn't have those singles, does it? What is today?
Yeah,
Tuesday?
I mean, gun to head, I would be short from those, the 670s, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's not a high.
How does it compare to your short earlier, Leo?
The short earlier was A plus.
Yeah,
They hit this, if you're looking over here, this is the weekly. So if you just mark this level, and this is what I like about, some of this stuff is like this level right here represents the weekly VWAP, right? So like, I already know it's a reference point. It's not on this chart. I just, had the level. If you were watching the morning stream, we had just nothing but buying all the way up, this little V here. And as soon as we hit the weekly VWAP, there was just a visceral reaction from sellers, and the tape just went blood red, and that delta profile went red. So there's two things: level of importance, change in order flow state, and there you go. So that's your two things, required, just like what you said earlier. Level, what's going to get me into the trade. So for me, that's A plus. This here is like C, I would say. Because the market is, it's slower. Yes, generally, end of day, generally, and this is like very generic statement, I think tends to revert off of extremes, right? So like if we're into end of day and we're just, kind of like this, there does seem to be kind of a bias, I think, for the market to kind of settle back into whatever range it was in for the day. But I don't really have patience to, wait and watch those things grind out.
Love it. You had a question. This is for you, Leo. The M period stat. ES made a new high a day in L, but NQ did not. How does that impact?
Did it make
the
a
stat
new high in L?
on NQ?
Yes.
Yeah.
ES made a new high in the last 30 minutes.
Sure, it did.
The stat is would make a new high in the day.
Yeah. And the question was, how does
70% of the time it works every time.
69, fix it, Leo.
It's like
69%.
the real stat is 68, but I knew you would pull.
Come on,
Fix that shit. It was a fucking softball. I was just trying to give it to you.
God. Well, the question was, how does it impact the stat if NQ did not, but ES did? Is it just independent? Like ES did it, so ES
both
is still
markets.
7%,
Yeah, both markets are about the same stat. So if you take it for what it is, right? It's one of those markets has done it. So it's maybe, for me, I wish I had known that, because I may have taken that long. But for me, it's like if you get a little bit of a pullback and you have that stat, you might take a little scalp for it. For me, it's awareness, right? Like if I know that stat is in play, I may not try to short this thing.
I love it. I like that. Yeah, I had the 30 up. You can see it took the lows of a couple of periods. I would have preferred at least take this one, but still same concept, right? You run a few stops. You've got the L period. or M period, whatever stat you like to call it. Is it the L period stat or the M period stat?
L period. Yeah.
I would like, to me, I mean, if we then, guess we make this high on the 5, really, if we had properly attempted to come back and fill in those singles, it would have been more interesting to me. And now at this point, I don't really want to see it. Like, sellers took their shot. Now buyers kind of lifted, or, whatever.
Hey,
but I would have.
We have a Chat GPT analysis of the market here. Per Chat
Excellent.
GPT, 1 minute showing lower highs and lower lows since 12/27. A micro downtrend is intact. Narrow body, lower close, long upper wick. Bulls tried but got absorbed, and sellers are pressing.
It's over. Sounds like
it's over.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. It's over. Yeah, Bobby, 68 generational low, man. That's it. You'll never see prices lower than that again. It's unfortunate. We have had some pretty bizarre last 10 minutes, though, lately. I feel like the Murder Algo's been kind of on some special juice lately, doing some interesting things.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get one of those today. Never know.
Do we have any earnings after the bell? Anything crazy? Earnings season's over?
I don't think so.
When is NVIDIA? Because NVIDIA is usually lagging like everyone else.
Yeah. No, that is got to be kind of soon. Let me see if I've got it here. $19th. Like the 19th. Ooh, Oklo. It's big news.
Wait, when? What?
The 19th is NVIDIA.
November 19th?
Yeah.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. So we got to wait till the 19th for generational top. Oh, bummer.
I was hoping that the Arena Cup final challenge was on the day after. That would be insane. Next week. Oklo. All right. I guess I should read the chat.
I bought generational lows on Oklo and paper handed the shit out of that. I mean, it was the best like long setup I had seen to that point in a while. It was beautiful. Bought it at I was like 9 something. And I think I sold it at 18 or something. I thought I was a genius. Whoopsie. Great trade. Those are the best. Yeah. It was just under 10 or whatever. It's wild.
It's a little bit here in it. NES walking this thing up. 6-7 at 71.
6-7.
71. Yeah. 6-7.
I got 4 kids, man. It's horrible.
Brother,
Production doesn't like 6-7.
What's that, brother?
Brother, ugh. I saw a teacher that had made a math teacher that had made all the answers to her quiz 6-7, just to mess with her students.
I like that. This is kind of painful.
Let's see. So we got on. Marco was here doing this. Cool. I love that for us. But how old are your kids? You have like 400 kids, right?
That I know of. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that I know of.
How old are the kids that you know of?
Oh gosh, 12, 7, 6, and 3.
12,
it's quite the
7,
spread.
6 and 3, 12, 7. Here's what I've got. 18, 6, and 5 months.
Yeah. Okay. You've got my spread beat for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know though. The wife was looking at the Cavs the other day, and I was like, "No, not again. I can't do this again. Can't do this again."
Yeah, I don't know how you do for the 2 we have. I mean, I say 2 because she's 18.
Yeah.
She's driving.
Yeah.
We're fighting for our life right now.
Right.
like, just everything's harder. Bedtime is harder because one, we're trying to keep it quiet so that, the 5-month-old can fall asleep and stay asleep. And then you're trying to get the 6-year-old to bed and stay in bed and not get out of bed 400 times without waking up the
Yeah.
5-month-old.
Yeah.
It's an incredible situation every night.
Those are good times, bedtime.
Mm.
Yeah. Where is up north? So I live in Arizona. And so we have a place in northern Arizona, which I would like to take this moment to thank Palantir sellers at $6 for buying me this cabin. Appreciate the liquidity. It's a good trade.
Yeah. Palantir.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I bought it at 7, sold it at 115, and the other day I saw it was at 200, and I wanted to puke.
Yeah. You did better than me. I kind of, a little bit better, I guess. I did 6 to 100. I had a reason for selling it because I wanted to. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Got me a cabin. I got 4 kids, and we get to enjoy our time up there. And I've taken other names for 100% since then. So so I didn't hold Palantir for the extra 100%. Whatever.
Are you actively swing trading single names?
Currently not right now. I normally do, but I shut it down a couple of weeks ago for the same reason I shut it down a year ago. I won't get into too much of this, but a year ago I shut it down sensing that something was coming and I kind of needed my full attention on indices. That turned out to be a 3-month distribution process. I'm kind of doing the same thing here, just with all that's going on. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm looking for a topping process to occur. Maybe it's a blow off top that we get. But I feel like the index has very, very much needed my attention. And that's the core of the service anyway. So, but I usually do. I like to pick off once in a while something juicy if there's a perfect setup on it. But I do. I definitely don't have time to look at 1,000 charts and screen and do all that kind of stuff. But once in a while, we'll pick something off for fun. We did IonQ like 35 to 70 or whatever recently. Some other names here and there. I enjoy it. I just don't have that much time. When you have this many kids, once I'm done for the day, it's extracurriculars, it's, bedtime, like you said, for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Can't exactly screen a lot of charts. So,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I would prefer a new high, Phoenix, before get any kind of sell. But I definitely I'm not willing to dismiss what we saw in that 6-week range. Regardless of the fact that we made a higher high. It obviously was not some fantastic breakout of that 6-week range. We dipped back into it. So I think very, very important how this December goes, as I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did have APLD at the lows. That was a good one.
How do you narrow down the stocks you look at?
I mean, honestly, I don't even screen. I don't even I don't run a screener. I've just got different sectors that I think might perform well and decent in certain situations. And I'll just honestly just memory go by a few. I don't have one of those memories like some of these guys, that are single name pickers that know just every equity ever thrown out there. But, I'll pick something in a sector and look at a few names, see what has the best setup. But nice. I do really enjoy it. It's just the time to look at them over and chart them properly is that is no fun. So don't do a whole lot of momentum. I'll look for reversals, like high time frame reversals, right? Maybe you form like a 5-week balance, right, on something with some kind of key high time frame LVN sitting right underneath that balance, and so I have a reason to look for that downside break to fail, and then try to take it to the other side, and then if it wants to give me more and an upside break, then that's great, and then if not, whatever. So I just try to look for those juicy ones, whatever it is. I don't care.
Right.
But it's going to be something like that. Like I'm looking for a trap like that.
Yeah. I really wish they would give us a trade, but I don't think they're going to give us one, Pharm.
This was especially, I told you, if I'm ever looking, like, that's why, like, you guys don't, not that I can be on here that much anyways for these shows with 69 kids running around, but yeah, you don't want me. It's going to be boring, guaranteed. I have to, like, if I get up and go to the bathroom right now, like, anybody want me to do that? It'll be the craziest last 16 minutes you've ever seen.
Let's
Just
test
watch.
it. Let's test it.
Just watch. Okay, here. I'll be right back, guys.
Let's see if does it work. I think that was his excuse. He just had to. He had to empty. You didn't even go anywhere, Pharm.
No, that's why I didn't go anywhere. You never know. It's thinking about it, though. It's going to give you that stat, right? Wants to. Go get it, ES. NQ's just going to do dog shit, no matter what. This makes this very interesting, right? Into, like, tomorrow, because I'm going to go to the 30 on NQ and just kind of give it a look myself. You know, I got interested when it sort of rejected last week's VPOC the way that it did.
Yeah, the market knows that you actually have to leave.
It does. So, I mean, to me, if NQ stays heavy, like, how far can, you know, Dow type names take this thing? It is good for breadth, and that's a good look. Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe they're just painting the tape through the end of the year. They would never do that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what we're going to find out. So we're going to find out if this goes big rally in the end of the year. If not, I'm looking to sell it.
Hey, that's a podcast. It is a podcast. Pharm, you should come to our podcast someday.
Yeah, let's do it.
We talk about trading stuff.
That'll be good fun. I'm down for a podcast. You guys just talk about all kinds of stuff.
I mean, we really try to get into some of the mechanics of trading versus just like, you know, I think a lot of the trading podcasts are honestly, I think, kind of boring. So we try and maybe, you know, maybe, I don't know, we try to mix in some like some strategy in-depth stuff. So like we did 2 episodes on volume profile, for example, where we went in depth, you know, what a low volume node is, what a high volume node is, what is balance, kind of like auction market, you know, wrapped into it. So I think we've done a pretty good job of making it a little more applicable, I guess, where some other podcasts are just kind of like entertainment value or, you know, kind of a biographical type of content, I guess.
Right. If I do a pod, if you're a guest on my podcast, you have to tell about your shittiest trade ever. Like your biggest screw up. And it can't be like one of those stories where you're like, oh, I did everything right and I was a genius, and then my internet went down and I lost money. Like,
this
like,
has to be like a proper degen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've got plenty of those, man. There's no shortage.
Yeah.
Trust.
It's just so tiresome. You know, so many of the podcasts that are interviewing big names and talking about all the amazing things they've done, and you never hear about the screw ups. And honestly, we've all had them, and I think we learn a lot more from it, and you can too.
Yeah, and I think it's appropriate to kind of bring some of that stuff to light, because it's like, hey man, some of this shit happens to everyone. Like you're not that special, you know? Like, I'm sorry.
Not that this is like my juiciest screw up or anything, but last year I did have it right that we were going to get a nice rally into the end of the year, into December. And so I wanted to buy QQQ calls, and it was like, I want to say 510 for January and 530 for March, something like that, which we blew well past, right? But here's the thing, like, I had my spot that I wanted to buy, and you know, we rallied. We didn't hit that spot. We rallied it, and it was a breakout, and I was looking to front run the breakout. Okay, it was like a multi-week balance, and I bought the false breakout. I bought the false breakout like an idiot, and guess where I stopped out? pretty much where I wanted to buy it. And I was just like, you know what? And I knew it too. And I was like, but you know what? I like punished myself. I was like, I bought the breakout like a dipshit when I said that I wanted to buy this dip. So I never even went back in. And I was like, guys, these are going in the money, whatever. I'm not buying shit. And I'm just ate my loss. And I was grumpy about it. And like, I just had to take my medicine. Like sometimes you got to take your medicine when you screw up.
Yeah.
That was a bad one. Anything IWM, it's going the other way for sure. So if I ever buy IWM calls, I'm actively
Attention
trying to
traders.
top the market.
It's algo time.
Algo time.
Algo time.
Is it going to do absolutely anything today?
Algo time, mate. It's gonna do nothing. Let's watch it rip to nowhere.
First minute, fourth minute, right?
Oh, a little pumpski. That's all it had. When the 50 algo can do basically nothing but go up 10 points.
Nothing but a farm
We're
pump.
gonna get like an end of day spike. I mean, the stat is there. The stat is there. A lot of buying. I mean, you see the buying just literally right on the candle. That's how you can watch the buy and farm. You can just watch the candles.
Yeah, it goes
Show
up.
you the
They must be buying. They're buying. It's going up.
Sometimes they sell when it goes up and they buy when it goes down.
It's true. It's so weird how that happens, isn't it? So did we really sit in what was like a 12 handle range on ES while I was on here? And
Less than that.
yeah. Whew. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't think we were on here, were we? No. It's good times. It's going to be the range of this candle. It's going to be the range that I was on if it spikes, obviously. 68 to 79, 11 handles. Woo. That's exciting.
Exactly. Hey, but you know what? We'll be on tomorrow morning. I'll be on again with Kane. This is like the Leo tour on NinjaTrader Live for a couple of days. You're gonna get tired of me. But maybe something we'll get some action tomorrow.
Very nice.
Very nice. What's on the calendar for tomorrow, Pharm? Anything amazing? I mean, obviously being a bank holiday today, you know, we're gonna get hopefully a reaction from like the real the smart money, as they call it.
Right. Yeah, we'll see what they come in and do tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully they come in and I don't know. I would like to see either. Let's see if the
6
Fed
Fed speakers tomorrow.
Nice. I would like to see 69.20 ES or 68.20 ES tomorrow. That's what I want to see. Anything else, I'm going to be very grumpy.
Are you a golfer being in Arizona?
Dude, I have 4 kids, man. You think I can get away to the golf course for 4 hours or whatever?
Hey. I'm just asking. The chat's asking.
No, I would like to, but no, I don't get out and golf.
Are we going to get that new high? Certainly has the potential.
So close.
A new high would be encouraging.
A new high would be encouraging for those long. Somebody earlier was long and said he wanted more
Needed it to go
buyers. Yeah, needed it to go up.
There we go. It'll be a
wish has
classic,
been granted.
Classic spike for ants on ES. Let's see it.
Thank you, whoever that was in the chat, for bringing that L period set up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So same idea. Took a couple of lows, a couple of 30s. Didn't take them all, but you got to run some of those stops before you can juice it, right?
Yeah.
Especially when pace gets that bad and that anemic.
Yeah.
Just sits between here. Oh, hour and a half.
Are they going to deny it? I love watching this stuff. Like it's like a show, like an action show.
Seriously though, lately we've had like these, like you can't even call them a spike. I mean, it makes a new high, but it's like 2 ticks.
Yeah.
3 ticks on ES. I just call them spikes. Yesterday was a spike for ants. It was new high day by 1 handle on ES, and NQ was not a spike for NQ was legit yesterday, I guess. Still failed, but ES was 1 handle. Let's see if we even get a full handle here.
No, I think they slammed it, right? They slammed it so hard right against 79 quarter that I think that was it. I don't know. We'll see the double down algo.
Mm-hmm. Spike for ants. I guess we got to go fill those singles overnight, huh? I don't know. Maybe
Here
I'll
we go.
find myself short tonight.
What is Aqua gonna do?
Oh, purple levels. I just put these on here for you guys to see my weekly levels. So, and I like to do ranges as opposed to single levels. Tends to keep people, I find, out of trouble. You know, if you use a single level and you're like, wait, is this a reclaim? Because a couple of 1-minute candles close over it. But, you know, when you're looking at a range and you can see it obviously failing into that range, it's a little bit easier to stay out of trouble. So that's all they are. And it could come from anywhere. Either volume profile, market profile, concepts, supply and demand of price for me, or whatever I see as a key inflection point on a given week coming into it.
Yeah, that high day is
Yep.
gross.
Yep. Spike for ants.
But
That's your classic spike for ants.
They sold right into it. So I mean they were sellers ready. They were waiting.
Oh yeah, and there was your NQ right up in those 680s, huh?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Let's just do the same thing as today. Let's just sell it off overnight. At least fill in these singles and then probably just rally anyway, right?
We know Pharm's plan. Pharm's gonna be short tonight.
Probably. This is like the most disgusting looking 30 minutes. Like this 30-minute chart is so gross. Just looks so gross.
Proper return to the meat of the day session. For the nothing ever happens crowd, we're about to be nothing ever happened here. Yeah, because we hey Jim.
Hey, boys.
What do you think? It wasn't much for us except for this little end of day move, which, you know,
I think you guys did great.
you have to say that.
It's in my contract.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was relatively, I mean, it was,
but Jim, did you like the stream?
I did like the stream.
All right, because you know, we know your history there is a little sketch.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've been virtually perfect since the incident.
Okay.
I might
I'll take
even
your
like
word
the
for it.
next stream. I might even like the next stream now for tomorrow.
Well, you have to like it tomorrow too, because I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be on with Kane tomorrow morning.
You are. While we're waiting for this to settle, look at that selling off a little bit. Spoos are kind of, someone's
Yeah.
taking profit right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they sold pretty hard
Mm.
into the 77s and yes there.
Yeah, it's a little bit backwards. So I said fill the singles and then go spike up. It's like, no, I'll do a spike for ants and then we'll make a race for those singles. It's not going to make it, I wouldn't think. But yeah, this will be your first area of interest overnight. I would think. I don't love how on the weekly profile it's sort of sitting in this sort of the middle of this high volume area here. Don't really love that. So I don't love to interact necessarily. as much in those singles. Maybe here.
Yeah, there's
Maybe I
nothing.
like.
There's nothing after hours either.
Let's go. Let's call it 52 and a quarter, 52 half. I'll consider that spot if I want to get long overnight.
Well, the VWAP or the VWAP, depending on how you pronounce it, right now for the session is 68.54 and a half. I don't think we're going to get there now.
No.
Here we go. That's the bell, gentlemen.
It's quite the 30-minute candle there. I'll treat that as a box. That it's kind of just takes out the range of however many candles to the left. It's kind of a big mother bar. So if we take that out, dip into the singles and reclaim, I'll look for a long. If we take that out to the upside, fail back in, I'll probably take it short, at least back to here. There's your 6 p.m. trades.
I have a feeling we're going to see more and more of these days in the future. I mean, we have energies are all green. Treasuries are all green. Metals, other than Dr. Copper, green. Dollar unched. Equities pretty much unched, relatively speaking. And the Bitcoin not doing so well, down 3.04% on the Bitcoin at 103,000.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it needs to hold 102 roughly. I mean, or it's kind of lights out here. It looks pretty bad. Couldn't even get to that 108 test. I wanted to see what was up at around 108.2, which I figured was probably going to stop it. It couldn't even make it there. Such a bad look.
Yeah, John Carter on X is like, I'm waiting for the flush, and I'm a buyer at 80,000.
69,420.
All right, I've
Market.
got a bit of a situation. I've got to run to pick
All
up
right.
a little one from school. So
All right, awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Let's get some
Yeah.
last second thumbs up for these guys and some subscriptions. Appreciate their hard work this afternoon. Great job, gentlemen. Before we go tomorrow, we're starting bright and early again, 8 o'clock. Jay Singh is going to be in the morning gap with us first thing in the morning. And then Pax is going to be on Tape Talk. Kane and Leo coming back for the morning, trading the open in the morning. Nick is going to do midday markets tomorrow. And then at the end of the day, Nick and Joey. Joey is back in the afternoon to trade the close. So, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Really appreciate you today as usual. Thank you, chat. Thank you, community. One last message, please. Most important message of the day. Please be safe out there. Be good to each other. We will see you tomorrow.
thanks, Jim. See you, chat.
Take care, Jim.
Bye.
See you, Leo.